Chris Isaak is a singer, songwriter, guitarist, and occasionally actor from California. His musical career started in 1978 and is still going, but it was his first album in 1985 actually brought him to wider attention and effectively broke him in. He became quite well known in the UK briefly at that sort of time. Especially with the single Wicked Game, which came a little bit later, which is his best known song. He has been particularly used by David Lynch, who was a film and TV director, in his projects, which has particularly boosted his career. So although he was kind of briefly popular in the UK, he is still going, and he has created 13 albums so far. Hi, my name's Dan. How are you doing today? So this was Chris Isaak's first album, and it didn't sell particularly well, at least to start off with, until it came to the public attention when one of the tracks was used in a David Lynch film. I know of Chris Isaak, but this is my first time listening to this album, so I'm coming to it pretty fresh, but I wasn't particularly surprised by the sound here. So it's kind of slow rockabilly country with bits of blues, in that sort of area. Interesting to take some of the kind of rockabilly sounds and slow them down somewhat. It's very atmospheric, and it's in some ways, I was at one point reminded of Riders in the Storm by The Doors and the kind of atmospheric sound and feel to it. There's quite a lot of space in it. And I quite enjoyed some of the bass work in it particularly. There are some faster tracks. There's a variety of feels in there, including a more kind of full-on country song called Western Stars. One of the features is the guitar playing, which is kind of generally low and twangy. It's got a very kind of Duane Eddy sound to it, if you know what that means. It's not distorted, and it's got this, yeah, I'm not sure I can do better than Duane Eddy as a sound. That's decent. His voice is worth picking out because he's got a really strong voice. He's got a good range. He's got a melancholy kind of tone to it. He's not, it's quite distinctive, his sound, and it has been said, and I would agree, that it's kind of like a cross between, at times it's like Elvis, and at times it's a bit like Roy Orbison. And he kind of plays up to this rockabilly thing with his, he has that kind of rockabilly quiff hairstyle going on. The songs are mostly about heartache and loneliness and relationships, sometimes broken relationships. 4 tracks in a row. I'll just give you the titles: Funeral in the Rain, The Lonely Ones, Unhappiness, and Tears. You're getting the idea, hopefully, from that. Even the upbeat tracks have a kind of darkness to them. My favourite track is the track Voodoo on this. So that is a faster track, but it does have this kind of, still a kind of melancholy and darkness to it. So the whole thing has this kind of rich blue melancholy feel to it. I'd say the weakest thing on the album is that some of the lines are particularly predictable. It's not hugely deep lyrically. The rhyming is at times quite, you know what's coming with the rhyme. The other thing that I would say as a criticism is, back to his voice, is that sometimes I feel like he was at the back of the line when consonants were being handed out. So it's can be hard to pick out the words at times. I listened twice, which is what I usually do. I listened in the car the first time, and I listened on headphones the second time. And I always find it interesting that my reaction can be different for the different listens that I have. I usually deliberately try and do it so that I'm doing it in different settings, which does seem to make a difference. And on this occasion, I wasn't hugely taken with it the first time through, but the second time through, I was more taken with it and did quite enjoy it. I think the first time the cliches were kind of irritating me somewhat. The second time I'd kind of accepted them and learned to live with them, maybe. And I was appreciating the textures and the sounds. It was more the music that I liked, I would say. So I think that's all I have to say, really. So what do you think? Please let me know. There's a comments box, which is a perfect mechanism for you to do that with. And that's it from me for now.